Before we start, I would like you to hit that red subscribe button so that you never miss out on any of our videos. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Film Sci 7. The Riot of King's Landing. Westeros was a very different place in HOTD. Far richer than the dilapidated version presented in Game of Thrones, the continent was at its might during the early days of the Targaryen dynasty. This prosperity became threatened by the dance of the dragons, culminating with a riot at King's Landing. Following the suicide of the tragic queen, Helena, the citizens of King's Landing stormed the dragon pit and attacked the dragons. In turn, the beasts turned the citizens alive. The dragon fire weakened the structure until the roof caved in, burying dragons and humans alike. The riot forced Rhaenyra to abandon the Iron Throne, while the city descended into chaos and violence. More importantly, it represented the end of the Targaryen dragons, with only 4 remaining across the continent. 6. The Blackfire Rebellions. First legitimized by Aegon the Unworthy, the Blackfire Pretenders launched a series of campaigns to usurp the Iron Throne. However, the first rebellion was the most meaningful. It pitted King Daemon II Targaryen against his half-brother. Daemon won Blackfire in a civil war that ravaged and divided the 7 kingdoms. Every Blackfire rebellion ended in defeat for the immature House Blackfire. Although Daemon I came the closest to victory, eventually meeting his defeat in the legendary Battle of the Redgrass Field. Subsequent conflicts in the Blackfire rebellions continued for decades, with the last one, the War of the Nine Penny Kings, occurring a mere 20 years before Robert's Rebellion. Number 5. The Battle of the Bells. Robert's Rebellion marked the ending of the Targaryens' 300-year rule over Westeros. It began with Rhaegar Targaryen's supposed kidnapping of Lyanna Stark and ended with Aerys II Targaryen's death and Robert Baratheon's coronation. One of the conflict's major clashes occurred at the Stony Sept between Robert's forces and the Royalist army. Robert's decisive victory confirmed the rebellion was a serious matter, forcing the Mad King to take action and Prince Rhaegar to return from Dorne and join the war. Number 4. The Battle of the Trident. Following a series of conflicts, Robert's rebellion was ultimately decided during the Battle of the Trident. Robert met Prince Rhaegar, one of the most heroic Targaryens, in a one-on-one match, while their armies clashed on the crossing that became known as the Ruby Ford. The Battle of the Trident ended with Rhaegar's death. With their leaders dead or injured, the Royalist armies scattered, opening the door for Robert's forces to march and take King's Landing. However, because Robert suffered severe injuries during his fight with Rhaegar, it was Ned Stark who took control of the rebels' army and marched to the capital. Number 3. The Sack of King's Landing. Once Rhaegar died, Tywin Lannister, who had thus far remained neutral, mobilized his troops towards King's Landing. Arriving hours before Ned, Tywin stormed the capital and his forces brutalized the citizens on their way to the Red Keep. Tywin ordered Ser Gregor Clegane to kill Elia Martell, Rhaegar's wife, and her 2 children, presenting their bodies to Robert once the Stormlord finally arrived in the capital. The sack of King's Landing shocked both sides of the conflict. Ned was horrified at Tywin's actions, and Jorah Mormont described it to Daenerys with obvious disgust. Still, it proved successful. Aerys too died by Jaime's hand, thus ending the Targaryen dynasty and allowing Robert to take the Iron Throne. Number 2. The battles for the slaver cities. Daenerys Targaryen made several dumb decisions throughout GOT. Her choices in Essos proved her inexperience as a ruler, and while her intentions were noble, her results were at best inconclusive. Dany and her army sacked Astapor and took control of Meereen following a prolonged siege. However, she could not hold the city, culminating in an assault at the Fighting Pits, which only survived thanks to Drogon's fortuitous arrival. Tyrion made matters worse by striking a deal with the slavers, only for them to back out and launch a full-scale attack on Meereen. Dany ultimately had to unleash the full might of her dragons on the slavers, proving her Targaryen nature by winning through fire and blood. Number 1. The Last War, a show-exclusive battle. Hopefully, Dany's final attack on King's Landing saw her become the Mad Queen. She uses Drogon to burn down the capital, burning everyone and reducing the city to ash. Daenerys then proclaims her intentions of doing the same with every person who refuses to bend the knee, forcing Jon Snow to stab her, thus ending her short-lived reign. Daenerys' descent into villainy felt unearned, almost like character assassination. King's Landing's destruction also undid all the good she done in Essos, commenting her legacy as the Mad Queen and confirming everyone's worst fears about the Targaryens. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.